Hello, everyone. You're warmly welcome to today's session on freelancing in digital marketing, how to get your first client, which forms part of our Digital World series. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. My name is Estella Hills-Anoman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner Abuba, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. So a bit about American Spaces. We provide access to current and reliable information about the United States, book collections, internet access, events, and activities for everyone. So today we are really excited to have you here today because today's conversation is very practical, especially for anyone looking to start earning online or grow a digital career. So our facilitator for today is in the person of Mr. Godwin. He is a social media consultant and a digital strategist. He's a seasoned copywriter, as mentioned earlier, social media marketer with over 8 years of proven industry experience. He has worked with hundreds of brands across Africa, Europe, and America. So Godwin is well-versed in the topics of social media content, social media strategy, content marketing, and copywriting. He has held several digital marketing training programs for businesses and employees in Ghana over the past 3 years. So during the session, please type all your comments. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear your questions. You can drop them in the chat box, and then the facilitator will address them. And also do also share this link with somebody close to you who actually might need this information, which is very, very relevant to add another source of income to their part of income generation. So over to you, Mr. Godwin Gablan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Estelle, for that very interesting introduction. So I'll just share my screen and get into it. All right. Sure. Great. So the topic for today's training is freelancing in digital marketing, how to get your first client, like Estelle had already said. So I want to find out who is in the room today, right? Who is joining us today? And Estelle, you can just let me know when people raise their hands on your hand. So
Sure.
if you fit any of these categories that is on the screen now, you just raise your hand so we know who is here. So the training is for aspiring freelancers, and by aspiring freelancers, I mean people who want to earn from digital skills. You've heard that people are making money online, people are making money with digital skills, and you want to get into that space, but you're not there yet. This is new to you, and you are looking to get into the space this year or maybe next year. This training is for you. Then it's also for recent graduates. So you just completed uni or you just completed your national service and you're looking for income beyond the regular 9 to 5 structure. This is also for you. Then maybe a side hustler. So somebody who has some knowledge in marketing. Maybe you work in marketing already and you're looking to kind of use that knowledge to make some extra money. This is also for you. And finally, it's for the career switcher. So you are working in education, you're working in health, you're working, even you're a police officer, you're an army officer, you're looking to try something new and go independent. You don't want to work under anyone anymore. You want to be your own person, your own boss. This is also for you. Do we have any hands raised? If any of this sounds like you, please raise your hand.
Yeah, it's in the chat box. So
Okay.
yes, we can just move along. When they do that, I'll just
All
let
right.
you.
Sure. Right. So the introductions have been done already by Estelle. I'll just add a few. So I'm also a CRM automation specialist and performance marketing expert, meaning I help businesses automate their marketing and sales systems so they don't have to be monitoring everything on a daily basis, right? And yeah, I've been doing this for the past 10 years, not eight, like you said, 10 years. So I'm not here with theories. I'm here with real life experiences, things that work for people. People I've coached, people I've mentored, and people I know around me as well, right? So what is the freelance opportunity like in Ghana, right? If you want to go into any space, you want to look at the opportunities. You want to understand what the numbers are. You want to confirm if truly your assumptions are right before you get into it. So the freelance opportunity in Ghana is very huge, right? Um, Out of the over 2 million registered small businesses in Ghana, just about 26 to 27% of them have consistent digital presence, meaning more about 73% of them have no consistent digital presence. And by digital presence, I mean having a stable website which is always online, having social media presence across multiple channels, posting regularly, having the same messaging across channels, and making sure that you're speaking to the right audience. That is something that is missing in the Ghanaian space. More than 70% of the businesses don't have that. Again, digital aspect has risen really fast within the past few years. 5, 6 years ago, I was advocating for businesses, Ghanaian businesses, to venture into digital, to spend on ads, to spend on content creation. We have had several trainings here with the American Embassy where we, we spoke to businesses about using digital long before TikTok, long before the content creation craze came about. So I'm happy that today a lot of businesses are getting to see the need for being present digitally. So that is also an advantage for you as somebody who's looking to move into that space. If you move now, you'll be part of the first movement because um, everyone is creating content, but there are very few people who are meaningfully creating content for businesses to grow and make money, right? So that is also part of the opportunity that is in the space for you. Then again, there's a low barrier to entry. You can actually learn depending on the skills that you want to pursue, you can actually learn these digital marketing skills in a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months top. You should be able to do something meaningful in digital marketing. So the barrier to entry is really, really low. Anybody at all can get into the space, provided you have the right mindset, the ability to read and write and understand and the digital skills that are required to survive in the space. So the market is wide open, right? The market is really wide open. The only question I'm asking today is, are you going to claim your share? Right? There's a huge market. 73% of 2 million is well over 1.5 million, if my math is right. Right? So are you willing to tap into that space? If you are ready to tap, if you are going to claim your share in that space, type it in the comments. Type it, say, I will claim my share, and then the percentage, put the percentage there. What percentage of this industry are you looking to claim? Now, moving on, the number one mistake that beginners make. I don't know for sure if you are all beginners, but if you are whether you're a beginner or you're somebody who has been in the space for a while and you're not seeing success, there is likely this is a likelihood that could be the reason why you're not succeeding in the space or you're not making as much as you should. The fact that you want to wait until you feel ready for it. And this cuts across all industries, all skills, all professions. If you want to feel ready before you do something, you'll really never get to do it, right? Business owners are not looking for the perfect person. They don't want, they're looking for somebody who has the perfect looks, the perfect credentials, and all of that. That's not what they care about. What they care about is somebody who can be useful to them. There's a problem that they are facing, and they know that problem. Some of them don't even know the problem, but they know there's an issue somewhere. If you can pinpoint that problem for them and provide a solution to the problem that is realistic enough to generate revenue or fix a cash leakage issue or a revenue leakage issue for them, they will be willing to go with you. So you don't need to feel ready to get into the market. All that you need is progress mindset. The fact that if I start today with one, I can grow tomorrow to two, and in a week's time I could get to three. That is all that you need. And it beats perfection every single time. Because the more you look for perfection, the more you understand that there are things that you lack. So if you're waiting for perfection to get started, then you will never get started because anytime you are checking to see if it's perfect, you find new problems to fix, or you find new areas that you need to improve upon, and that means that you will never get to start. So the number one mistake that you should avoid, that you should clear off your mind right now, is you do not need to feel ready. You do not need somebody to say you are ready to go out there and start living your best life as far as the digital marketing space is concerned. I know that may sound like a motivational speaker speaking, but yeah, I'm not one. This is the reality. I have had mentees um, who started out feeling that they are not ready, and in 3 months, 4 months, they still don't feel ready. And it's just clear that from the beginning that this person was never positioned mentally to succeed in a space, right? And those who felt like they were not ready, but they wanted to take a chance on themselves, they ended up succeeding in space. So very important for you to clear this mindset. Now moving on, I want to give you the 5 steps you need to follow to succeed or to be able to get a first client in the next 30 days, the next 60 days as a freelancer. And the first and most important step is to pick one skill. Now, there are lots of skills or lanes in digital marketing. As you read more about it, you understand that there is so much that you can do in this, like within that industry. But these are the top 6 that I have picked based on trends, based on what is working, based on where there's demand currently. So social media management has been around for a while. It's still a big thing today. Still a big thing today. Even though there's AI doing some of the work, companies still need social media managers who can fine tune the voice, who can manage the day-to-day activities, plan, engage people, and all of that. So it's also very important. Even if there's AI, you need a human being to use the AI to do the work. So there's still a lot of demand for social media management today. Then there's paid ads, which is like a crazy thing right now. With the advent of AI, anybody at all can create some content that can be used to create ads. So companies, big, small, or medium, are all looking at paid ads. Plus, traditional marketing is becoming really, really expensive. If you have ever done anything as far as radio, TV is concerned, you would know how expensive that is. So businesses are now looking towards paid ads, which are way cheaper because even with $1, which is roughly around 11 cities, you could start a campaign today on most of the platforms, right? So paid ads is a huge space as well that a lot of businesses are looking at. Content creation, where um, companies pay you to create content for them. It could be video content, it could be graphics, it could be carousels, it could be infographics. You create it for them. So they just give you a business, maybe their business plan, what they do, their marketing plan, and then you create content for them. It could be a retainer, something you do monthly for them without having to post or having to manage the social media. Just create content for them. So that's also something you can look at. Then email marketing, which is like one of the oldest forms of digital marketing, which is still really, really, really relevant today, especially as far as lead generation, lead nurturing, and lead scoring, all of that is concerned. Email marketing is still very powerful. So that is something you can also look at. And there's SEO, which is a bit tricky today, but still very powerful for some industries, which depend heavily on search traffic. So SEO, search engine optimization, still very, very powerful for some industries, especially if you're able to do AI optimization. Yeah, that is also a great area to look at. Then CRM setup and automation. So automations are becoming a big thing. This has been around for a while, but in Ghana, a lot of businesses do not understand digital, right? They don't understand how digital marketing should be done. So they just scratch the surface of it and don't go into the depth of it. Because CRMs, automations, all of that has been around for so many years in the other world, right? Especially in the US and Europe. This thing has been around for so long, for like years, almost as I mean, I started encountering this within that space 7 years back before it's becoming a thing now in Ghana. So the market is still very fresh for CRMs, for setting up automations, so that businesses don't have to follow like do repetitive activities when they can focus on the core business activities. So CRM sets are very, very hot. If you find a niche for yourself and you're able to penetrate, yeah, you'll be able to do some good stuff there. And the money is good, right? Because it's a specialized skill. CRM setup is cool, man. You can get anything from 10,000 to $50,000 for setting up a CRM. I mean, cities, sorry, because you're in Ghana. So 10,000 to 50,000 cities for setting up a CRM, depending on the complexity of the setup that you are doing. And you could also be on a retainer to keep creating new setups for them or updating, fixing issues as they come. So yeah, very cool news if you ask me. Now it's important that you start with one of these skills, the one that you're very comfortable with, the one that aligns with your current interests, the one that aligns with um, what you do, right? The reason being that you do not want to start with something that is totally new to you, right? In education, we say you teach people from known to unknown, right? Not from unknown to known. So what you know already, it's easier for you to start with that, uh, to branch into that when you're learning. The barrier is very low. For instance, if you're somebody who enjoys social media a lot, you've seen a lot of posts, you spend a lot of time in social media. There's a chance that already subconsciously you have already captured how to how content, how the best content feels like. You already have that in you. So when you go into social media content creation as a skill that you want to take, it would be a lot easier for you as compared to going for CRM, which is more like tech, right? CRM is more tech, deeper tech work. So you want to start with something that is easy for you to get into, and then you learn, you start with that skill, you start getting clients with that skill. And as the clients come, they'll start requesting for more things, and then you can learn more skills that would then diversify your portfolio. So very important that you niche down. It's easier for you to get hired if you niche down from the beginning, and it's easier for you to get referrals, and it's easier for you to price, right? Because you are focused on one area. And there's so much opportunity in this space that even if you just master one of them, you would end up getting a lot of opportunities, right? So there's no need to want to be the jack of all trades and the master of none. All right, let's move on to the next thing. By the way, if you have questions along the way, you can just drop them in the chat. We'll get to the questions and answer part as well. But then if you have questions as we go on, you can drop them in the chat and Estella will read them out. Now, step two is to build social proof. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong, right? You want to start selling your service, maybe social media management, and you're wondering, don't I need years of experience? Don't I need multiple certifications? Don't I need a perfect portfolio? Don't I need to be ready to start selling? And that is wrong. That is the wrong mindset. There are a lot of ways you can actually build a portfolio or proof, by social proof, to start selling without having to sell to an actual person or somebody, an external person, right? So I'm going to walk you through that right now. What you can do, even if you just learn the skill this week, next week, what you can do to get a proof that you can share with other people. So you need to work on your own brand. That's the first one. If you want to create, if you say you want to maybe major in content creation or maybe LinkedIn content creation, the best way to do that for people to see you or to create a social proof is to start building your own LinkedIn account. That means setting up your LinkedIn right, setting up the visibility right, the keywords, all of that, putting everything in the right place, making sure your profile is complete, and creating engaging content that talks about what you are learning, right? So you can even start by just every day when you learn something new, in the course of your studies, you bring it on LinkedIn, structure it in a way that it attracts business owners. It tells them you are learning. This is what you learn. This is what you discovered. Put that on LinkedIn. Make it structured over time. Over time, people who see that would view your profile. Some of them will send you requests. Some of them will comment. And as you do that consistently, you are building your own brand and you're also attracting new customers or new clients, right? So that's one way to do that. And with Instagram, the same thing. Start creating content, putting on your Instagram. When I say content, it doesn't mean just any content. If you want to be, if you want to create video content or you want to edit videos for businesses, then of course you can just edit different kinds of videos and put it out there, but make sure that it is linked with the business work, right? So pick a business scenario and create a video based on that and put it out there. But if you want to be a manager of brands, then you want to talk about digital marketing, you want to talk about how social media impacts businesses, how social media is linked with revenue. Do a whole plan on that, right? And start posting content that would engage people and bring them to you. Then another thing is you can do a free or discounted project. And this works a lot, especially if you have people around you who qualify to be your ICP, your ideal client profile. They meet that or they are your ideal clients. So maybe your friends, your family members, people on your contact list who you know have businesses. You can just reach out to them and be like, okay, I really want to start this and I've learned some new skills. What I want to do is I want to create a free content for you to post on your socials. And then based on the results, you give me a feedback. You can do a video testimonial from there. You can just write it as a WhatsApp message that I can screenshot and post on my own socials. Right? That's a smart way to go about that. Another way is okay, because I don't want to feel like I'm giving away my skills for free. You can just give me 100 cities to buy data and I'll do this for you. But I want this and that. I want you to give me a review, right? And I want to be able to add it to my portfolio. Another smart way of doing this. Then, if you think people around you, you don't have anyone around you who will face this, which is very, I don't believe that because you have over 100 contacts on your phone. If you can find one person who runs a business, be it a small business or, any kind of business that you can do this for, then I don't know. I don't know what kind of contacts you have. Sorry, but that would be very, very disappointing if you can't find one person. But in the case where that happens, what you can do is maybe those people on your list also have other people, they know other people who own businesses. They can refer you, right? Or they can recommend you because you're doing this for free, by the way. So there's no real risk on their side. Now, if that fails, what you can do is if you're in WhatsApp groups, if you're in WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, you can post there that, oh, you're offering this for free. If you're interested, reach out to me and I'll do that for you. Yeah, we will definitely get someone from there. Now, if all of these fail, what you can do is you can do direct outreach on the platforms like LinkedIn. So you just search for businesses. Maybe if you want to do something for real estate, you just search for real estate businesses. Then you set the location to Ghana or wherever you want to. And then a business name will pop up. The CEOs, all of that, you get some of the data for free on LinkedIn. So you can just message them that, oh, I am this and that, and this is what I want to do. I want to do this for free so that you give me a testimonial. Yeah, some of them will respond, some will not respond. Of course, if you send 100, you're likely to get maybe one or two responses. So don't be discouraged if you send 10 and get zero. It's a numbers game. If you send cold outreach to people, the numbers are really low, except your message is very, very strong. If it's not very, very strong and very attractive, you are likely to get very low numbers. So 100, you might get one, two, three. If you are really good, you can get 10 people to respond, and you probably convert two of them. So yeah, that is another way to do that. Now, document the process, right? So document the process as you go through your studies. That's what I've already said. As you go through the studies, document it, post it on socials. Oh, today I learned this and I tried it and this was the result. I learned that, I tried it and this was the results. Yes, so document the process. Then create one strong case study. So based on the freebies or the discounted projects that you've done, make sure that you create one strong case study. Pick one of them and say, this person had I'll go into the details of how to create this in the future slides, but I'll just touch on it briefly. So you can just say company A had was getting zero leads when before I engaged them, but after I engaged them, I created content for them. Within 2 weeks, they were able to generate 2 leads. And though none of them became a sales, they were all qualified leads, right? That's a good thing. That's good for a beginner. That's a good case study. Or if they converted, you can also add that you converted one of them and this was valid, right? So then create that case study because that's what you're going to use to pitch to clients in the future. Again, if you have questions as I progress, you can just drop them in the chat. Okay. Now, step 3 is to position yourself clearly. Positioning yourself clearly means 3 things. One, positioning statement. What do you do and who do you do it for? It must be very clear. Very, very clear. Like if you tell a child, a 5-year-old child, they should be able to understand what you're saying. If you're able to do that right, then you'll be all over the place. And if your business is all over, or if you as a freelancer are all over the place, you are most likely never going to get any real results, right? So the positioning statement is usually structured this way. I help so and so people achieve so and so results using this, right? So for instance, I help I help startups or I help real estate startups achieve 20 to 15%, 15 to 20% increase in leads generation using CRM automation. And that's very clear. So who are my audience? My target market, I'm looking at real estate businesses or startup real estate businesses. And what is the result? I give them between 15 to 20% increase in leads generated using CRM automation, right? So it should be one sentence and it should capture all the value. If you want to go into detail, that's also great. So you can say, I help African African real estate startups with 5 to 10 employees achieve then the result and then using the service. So that should be very clear. Write it down very clearly. Now, after writing that out, then you set up your social media platform. So your LinkedIn, if it's your personal account, set it up to have this as your headline. Should be very bold. There's no need to put a lot of unnecessary stuff in your headline. Only what is necessary. What reflects how you want your people viewing your profile to see you. What would push them to want to come and work with you, right? So if you have something that is not related to what you're trying to achieve on the particular platform, do not put it on your profile. So the headline, your about, your experience, all of that should be aligned with this because it's like your basically your CV, right? So you're not going to work on your CV. It was back in the days, like when you started, when you completed school or you maybe as an assistant leaver, you were trying to get some jobs. That's when you create a CV and you put a lot of unnecessary stuff on it. Right now, if you create your CV, it has to be straight to the point, right? So the same thing should be on your LinkedIn. Make sure everything you put out there is directly linked with what you do or what you're trying to sell. The same for your Instagram, your bio should only talk about what you're trying to sell or what you're offering to people. Do not go and say, I'm a digital marketer, I'm available for work. That is like zero. Nobody cares about your digital marketing skills. What they care about is the results that you can produce for them, right? And who are you looking to do that for? Once it's clear like that, they come to your profile, they know this is the person I want to talk to them, right? Then now repeat, practice saying your one-liner pitch out in 10 seconds. You should be able to do it in 10 seconds, right? So you should be able to explain what you do in 10 seconds without hesitation. So if you're not able to do that, then you've not mastered what you do yet. You don't understand what you do. If you were to meet somebody in a car, right, this should be a scenario for you. If you were to meet somebody in a car who probably on the phone was speaking about their business, the challenges that they have, and you have the solution to their problem, how would you be able to capture their attention in 10 seconds? That should be your positioning statement. So if you're not able to do that, then you need to get some work done on your positioning, right? Yeah. Um, moving on, step 4. So step 4 is finding your first client the right way. There is finding your first client, And then there's finding your first client the right way. Finding your first client the right way means making sure that the approaches you are using to find your first client are perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but they are right. They are logical, they are ethical, and they produce results. And these are the tested and confirmed ways that you can do that. So the first approach is the warm outreach strategy, which is the only one I'm going to talk about in this webinar. The warm outreach strategy means reaching out to people who already know about you, people who already know you. Maybe they don't know your other skills, the skills that you have, but they know you on a personal level, or they know you through someone else. But the bottom line is that they know you. That is why it is warm outreach. It's not cold. You're not reaching out to new people altogether. Now, to do that, you need to identify 10 contacts who own or know a business. And again, I had already spoken about this in the previous slides that I don't think it is difficult for you to find 10 people in your contacts. Some of you have thousands of contacts. When you post on your WhatsApp, you get hundreds of views, meaning, and generally, just a percentage of people on your contacts will likely see your status in a day. So it means you have thousands of contacts on your list. So you cannot tell me that you are not able to get 10 contacts who own or know a business. So you shortlist them, right? You just write it down. Kofi, Pedro, Juliet, top 10, write it down. Then start a genuine conversation with them. You're not trying to quote pitch with them. Just start a genuine conversation. Oh, do you, if the person runs the business, just ask, oh, that your business, how is it going currently? Are you getting sales? Are you getting leads? How's it performing? Like you're checking in on them and they tell you, oh, these are the challenges we are having. If they truly want to. These are the challenges we're having. I've been trying, but things are not going as well as I planned. We've been running some ads, but they're all failing. We spend a lot of money, and then there's some unnecessary people come to our DMs, asking us for money or asking us to spend the money and all that stuff. Then, based on that conversation, you now say, okay, I just started learning this skill, and I would like to try it out with you for free to see how I'm performing, and then based on that, if you like the results, we can discuss the retainer, we can discuss a way I can help you long term. So you pay me for it. Now, you need to make sure that your offer is specific, right, and concrete. Like I said, specific and concrete. You don't want to say I do marketing. I did not say that in my earlier comments. I said you find out the problem they're having and then pitch the solution from what you can do to them, right? So you say that directly, you spell it out, and then you get into it. Now, from the conversation, you're supposed to let the ask. The ask means, what is it? What are you going to get from this? Right? It should come naturally from the conversation. You shouldn't force it. Don't force it. Don't try to force the conversation. If the conversation is not getting to that part where you're talking about money, don't talk about it. But if it's just about freebies, let it be freebies. Because at the end of the day, what you want at this point is more about getting something for your portfolio, sample work for your portfolio, and also some testimonials or some reviews that can convince the actual clients that you would be approaching in the near future. So you want the conversation to flow naturally. Even though these people know you, when you start, people generally don't like it when we get into the money side of things. Like no matter how, that's why you can even see parents and children having arguments over money. Because once we get into the money side of things, especially as Africans, it becomes different, right? So you don't want to get into that. At this point, you're not focused on the money. You're focused on the skills, the experiences, the numbers that you can present on calls, the numbers that you can present during meetings with potential clients. Now, outside of this, right, these are the platforms where you can likely get some of these people that warm outreach. So you can look at Facebook groups, local business communities. There are a lot of them on Facebook. I know some of you, especially if you're Gen Zs, you probably be thinking, but who uses Facebook these days? The business owners that matter still use Facebook, right? So you want to be there. You want to be in Facebook groups where we have real estate groups, um, uh, we have service-based groups, a lot of groups. If you just search with locations on Facebook, you'll see those groups. Some of them are public, some of them are private. So you need to check it out, right? Then WhatsApp business communities. So you're in a lot of WhatsApp business communities. If it's if you find that there are, there's a group that talks a lot about business and people are very interested in business in that area, or there are entrepreneurs in that group, then we can also enhance for customers there. And hunting, let me just say this, hunting doesn't mean that you just go and message people privately anyhow. No, that's not how it works. It means somebody, the best way to do this, right, is that somebody comments something or says something in the group that, oh, is there anyone here who can do this? Or I've been struggling with this. Is there anyone who has some advice? So you go ahead and you offer the advice on the platform for free, no money. Then you say, oh, I'm also open to having a call with you to understand the problem further and see how I can assist you. Perfect. Yeah, yeah, like it's a perfect pitch. There's no way the person is really serious. There's no way they are going to move away from that, especially if they see value in what you provided as the free, the initial tips that you give them. I have used that on so many platforms to get a lot of clients for my clients or leads for my clients and for myself, right? One of the platforms that I use a lot for that is Reddit. If you don't know Reddit, you can just Google it. So Reddit works like Quora, but I think it's more advanced than Quora, where people ask questions in channels or in sub accounts, right? Subgroups. They ask questions and then you can go and answer the questions for them. So if you answer the questions right, like you answer with so much detail. Don't go and copy any AI response and post because people can see through that these days. It means you're not an authority. You can copy the AI response, reword it to sound like you, make it really, really detailed so they can feel like they are getting value from this. And I just tell them I'm open to having further conversations on this. And you'll be shocked to see a lot of people coming to your inbox on any of the platforms that they saw your comment on this and they wanted to reach out to see how you can help them. So that's another way to do it. The same thing on LinkedIn, and then local business events or networking nights. So if there's these events, these business events that go on, if you have the capacity, you have the money, you have the time, you can go and just listen to people, um, make new connections, follow up, and yeah, you can get some really cool leads from here that would be your first client, right? So your first client is not is already on your phone, right? Stop looking for strangers. That's the bottom line. Your best first client is probably already in your phone. It's probably somebody you had a chat with yesterday. It's probably somebody you had a chat with 2 days ago. Probably someone who is on the way to testing you today. You want to look out for those people and not go looking for strangers because it's more difficult getting strangers to trust you in things like this than people who already know you. If you have questions on this, please do feel free to post in the chat. Now, step 5, how to close the deal without feeling pushy. Now, you've convinced them that you're the right person for them, or you have given them enough information for them to want to hear you out in terms of the numbers. When you're closing the deal, you don't want to feel too pushy because then it means you are losing your integrity or your dignity. It also means you are probably desperate, and desperation is not a good thing because when people are desperate for work, once they get the work and the money, they lose interest, right? Or they begin to slow down. And it's very, very common that people are hungry for work, they are desperate for the work. They get the work, they get a payment, and then they slow down. It's very, very common. Then people read through that. Anybody who has been in entrepreneurship for a while knows that if someone is desperate for work, they are likely to slow down after they scratched the itch that was pushing them to be desperate. So you want to sound very formal, very as if you want to sound as if you have some value, right? And it's true, you have some value to give. So you don't want to give it all out. So your proposal should have these four clear steps, right? The problem that these people are facing should be very clear. Don't go and say, oh, yeah, your business is struggling because your marketing is not good. What is wrong with the marketing? State it. Then your solution. What are you providing? What is the solution that you're providing? Then the deliverables and the timelines should be very clear. I will provide you with 15 contents every 7 days. At the end of the month, I'll provide you with a report on everything that's happened within the month. Then the pricing should be clear, no surprises. Most times, I would recommend that you provide tiered pricing structures for clients, so they're able to make decisions based on that. If you just give them one block pricing, it sometimes it kind of like there are no options, and people generally like options, right? Humans they like options. They don't like to be put in a box and they can't just move away from there. So it's best if you can provide tiered pricing, and the tiered pricing should be logical, right? It should be logical, and of course, these are things that these topics are big. They are big topics on their own. Pricing is the whole thing on its own. That I can go into the details of how people think about prices and how to make sure that your pricing actually reflects the value that you're giving. Because the idea is that the value you are giving should exceed the price, right? I don't know if that is clear enough. If you are charging somebody thousands for something, they should feel that what they are paying is less than the value they are getting. That's the only way they're going to buy it. So if they feel that the value you are providing is lower than the amount you are charging, they are not going to get, they are not going to go for it. So there should be some logics in the pricing that you're providing as well, right? Then there's the follow-up rule. For this kind of people, follow up with them exactly 2 times, just twice, and sit back. The first time could be once you send a proposal, maybe within 3 days, you can reach out. There's a whole structure for this too. But yeah, within the first 3 days, you can reach out again. If they haven't said anything, then leave it for a week and come back to it again. Ask them, follow up with them again. If nothing is happening there, just move on, look for new set of people that you can do this with again. And then maybe after a month, if they don't come back after a month, you can just quickly check in with them again. And there are messaging structures for these things, right? That you can also look into, right? So respect their time and protect your dignity. Do not go chasing them like they stole from you, like your life depends on them, right? It doesn't. You lose some, you make some. You don't have to win each and everyone who comes your way, right? Now, what to charge as a beginner? So I have put together some pricing here for beginners. Of course, this is not it's not cast in stone. You can definitely massage these figures. You can increase based on who the clients are, what their strength is, the value you are giving them. So for social media management, beginners would usually charge per platform, so 800 to 1,500 cities per month for maybe Instagram, for Facebook alone, for TikTok alone. Yeah, so if you're doing multiple of these, you can give discounts and then multiply. Then paid ads management, usually you get paid for managing the setting of the ad and managing. And usually managing an ad, if it's just one campaign, managing it means maybe 30 minutes a day. Just go and check if it's producing the results that you want, if the reach is there, or if the reach is limited, if the funnels, if you're using a funnel, if you're using funnels, the funnels have an issue, you need to check it out. So just those things, and then maybe provide a report at the end of the campaign. So you get paid 500 to 1,000 to, and this is like at a lower end. If you are mid to senior level or you have some really good numbers to show, you can charge way more for ads than these per clients. And because of the way it is, you can work with multiple clients. You can work with even 20 ads clients at a go, right? It's not a big deal. That content creation, 500 to 1,000 cities per month, mostly for graphics. If you are doing videos like you are recording yourself, promoting a product, then you will definitely charge way higher than this, right? Now, the first 90 days, the goal here is for you to get maximum testimonials and referrals. We are not focusing on the income, right? That shouldn't be your goal. Just get as many testimonials and referrals as possible. Now, as you pick up, you learn from these new clients that you're getting, and your skills become more advanced. You can then start upping the price. But one thing you need to know is that those who started with you would usually want to keep them at lower price ranges so that you can keep experimenting new things with them, right? And that's a smart way of doing this. So because they started with you, they saw you as a beginner. When you want to try new things, you try it with them. So you keep the price low and then you try new things with them. Then based on the results you are getting there, you can now go and sell to other people higher, right? So that is how to do that the pricing and what to focus on within the first 90 days. So here is everything for you need to do starting today if you really want to start getting your clients in the next 30 days. So we spoke about picking up and setting up. So choosing your service, building your profile, writing your positioning statement. That should be week one this week. Okay, this week is ended, so let's do next week. Then week two, reaching out to 10 contacts or warm connections, starting genuine conversations with them and offering specific value to them. Then week three, you deliver and document. So run a free or low cost project, track your results, capture a before and after proof, document on social media so people can see what you are doing. Then convert and pitch. Turn results into a case study, pitch your first paying client with confidence. That is it. Your 30 days blueprint to start getting clients in digital marketing today. The most important thing I would say is picking the right skills and learning it, right? Building out all of these. Then the rest are seemingly easier. Once you know what you are doing, the rest of these things are very easy to do. Right. Now let's talk about key mistakes to avoid as a beginner in digital marketing or somebody who wants to succeed in digital marketing. There is the issue of underpricing out of fear. Some people feel if I charge too much, this person would probably not buy. And too much, what is too much? Right, that's what you need to define. So to find what's too much is usually research the market. So right now you have a lot of AI tools that can do that for you, though it may not be as accurate as possible. The thing is, in Ghana, here, people don't like sharing figures, right? But that's a good. I have a community, or I'm in a community where we have digital marketers as a community. People I've mentored and people who I've worked with and people who are also big in a space where you can share ideas, share numbers, discuss some of these things openly. So that's like an internal data source. But generally, in Ghana, people don't like sharing numbers. So it will be difficult for you to get accurate data on how much people are charging for certain things. That is why you see somebody come and post a product online and say, DM me for price. Right? I know you guys have experienced that. So it's really a big issue, but you need to still do your research and find out how much people are charging. Now, if you know how much people are charging for that, then you can then look at the price for value, right? So how much value are they deriving from this service? So how much can I price that I'll be okay and still be able to provide the service? Because mind you, there are some services that you probably need to pay somebody else or pay some other system or pay some other platform to be able to complete the service. So you need to look at those things and make sure that you're not charging too high and not charging too low. If the value is worth it, people will pay for it, right? Business owners pay for things that bring them value. And value for them is sales, more revenue, maybe stopping fraud or something like things that take money away from them. Right. Then the second thing is taking every client regardless of fit. This is a big one. If you end up, especially at the beginning of your journey, if you end up getting the wrong client or taking on the wrong clients, you will never be happy as a freelancer, right? Because you you have like you have the that kind of how do we call it, PTSD going forward. You always be worried that you end up getting the wrong clients and you might end up turning away the right ones just because of that. So that's why you need to define who your ideal buyer is. Once you define that, you know. And I can tell you on authority that if you're a freelancer, there are three kinds of people you want to not work with. The first one is people who are undecided about what they want to do, right? So if the conversation from the onset is always moving away, like it's just changing, things are changing from the onset, you want to be careful. The second one is businesses that have multiple um, management systems, maybe management levels. So like big operations that one decision will probably take like 2 months to come to. You don't have that time to wait because you get paid for how much work you do, right? There's no fixed payment for you. So you want to make sure that you stay away from them. The best clients are usually small business owners, maybe 1, 2 man led team with employees, 5 to 10, maybe 20 employees. Those are like the best fits for freelancers or beginner freelancers. You also um, probably don't want to work with consulting agencies as a freelancer because they also kind of stress you out a bit, especially if you're just starting out. So yeah, those are things you want to look at. Then overpromising and underdelivering. Do not go and overpromise just to look good in the face of the client. At the end of the day, what you say versus what you do must either match or what you do must be more than what you say, right? So if you go and overpromise and underdeliver, you are tainting your own image. Like you are just ruining your reputation because that person is going to speak to other people about you. You'll be shocked that somebody wants to work with you, and then somebody that has already worked with you is their friend. They say, "Oh, I want to try out this guy," and then they're going to say whatever the experience was that they had with you. If it was good, they're going to say it's bad. They're going to say. Plus, if you do that, if you overpromise and underdeliver, you are not likely to get referrals, right? And referrals is free money. Then, so yeah, to fix is to underpromise and then overdeliver. Always underpromise and overdeliver. And I enjoy doing that. You just tell the person you should expect is maybe 15 contents, you end up giving them 17, 2 extra. They'll always be happy, especially the quality is up there, right? They are working without a clear brief or agreement. This is what causes scope creep, right? Where you start a project and then the person is bringing on new things that were not discussed. So you want to have a clear agreement before you start. I am providing you this and that for this amount. And it should be documented and signed so that you're not dragged later for not having this agreement. It's very, very important. Do not start a project without a brief or without an agreement. You should have that in writing too, not just verbally. They're not asking for referrals after success. So some people are too shy to ask for referrals. You were able to get some good numbers for your clients. You were able to generate some sales, generate some leads, generate some good traction for the business. But then you are shy. The person is always praising you, but you're shy to tell them, "Oh, do you have anyone within your network?" Maybe some of you will feel that if you ask them that, they will think you are looking to leave them. But if the clients truly want the best for you, they would want you to grow because their business is growing too, right? So you should ask. And if the person doesn't feel that you're going to leave them, then that's some red flag for you to look at. So the fix is ask every happy client, do you know anyone else who would love this service? And if they truly like what you did for them, they are going to refer someone to you, right? Yeah. So now it's time for Q&A. Esther, I think we are. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes.
All right, Gabba, thank you so much for this insightful session. I think you've covered so much details into how freelancers can start from beginning to the end. And we have a lot of comments in the chat box. Okay, so we have, let me see. Okay, we have our director, Madam Florence. She says that she's happy to be here. Interesting. And then let me see if there are any other comments. Okay. So there's a question that I have on my table, which is about being a freelancer and then getting clients internationally. I think sometimes in Ghana here, we hear a lot about issues with payment and with international clients. What best advice can you give to somebody whose target audience or target client is outside Ghana, in that sense?
All right. So there are, so I think your question has to do with the payment methods, right, that are applicable
Yes,
to
yes, the payment process,
NSC.
yeah.
Yeah. So PayPal is limited. You can't really use PayPal to do a lot of transactions in Ghana. So that is out of the way. So the alternative is to use Payoneer. Payoneer is what I have used for some time myself, and I've also recommended it to some people, and they use it. So Payoneer, people can pay from PayPal to your Payoneer account. They can pay from their credit card to your Payoneer account. They can pay to your bank, or they can pay from their bank to Payoneer, because Payoneer gives you a US, or if your client is in the US, Payoneer gives you a US bank account that they can transfer the money into, and then you can then transfer that money back into your Ghanaian local account, right? If the person is in the UK, they also have UK accounts that you can transfer into, or any of the European countries, right? So you can transfer into and then transfer back to your local account. So Payoneer is also very good. I have used it. They have some issues sometimes, but it's the best alternative out there. If the person is also okay just sending the money to your Momo directly, they can use the popular, uh, um, the international payment methods that we have around, like Tap Send. I think Send Wave. Wave also works well. The only thing is, for Wave, you cannot have the account in Ghana, so they have to send to your Momo. There's also Gray, which is relatively new. That is also good, but they have some very high charges, so you can look into that if you want to. I think I've also used what's the name? Remitly or World Remit or something like that. Those platforms also allow people to send money from some of the European, and then the US and Canada as well to you. So if you have clients there, in fact, there are a lot of payment methods that you can use.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. And then the last question I have for you before we let you go is the aspect of online scams. How can you really recognize if your client is fake or not?
That's a good question, and it's something that could come. It happens to you once in a while,
Okay.
as you're in the space. But I think some of the red flags are usually the business not having um, a stable site. Sometimes you go to their website, they give you a website, you go to the website, and you see it's not properly structured, right? It was just put together some way to force to create some impression,
Right.
and also um, um, they don't have the right visibility, right? In terms of maybe their profile, they don't have a profile picture. Maybe on LinkedIn, for instance, somebody can reach out to you without a profile picture, or you realize they use a model's picture to send you a message on LinkedIn. Their own profile is not complete, and all of
Yeah.
that. Those are things you can look at, right? But the biggest that I'm seeing now is that if it's a scam, they'll usually ask you to either make a payment for something at the beginning, or they'll ask you to download a document that will send to you. And usually those documents are like they try to hack into your system and access your accounts. So if somebody sends you a message, and instead of just booking a meeting with you or having a conversation with you, chooses to send you a file that you have to download before you continue the conversation with them, that is a red flag. Also, if somebody wants to work with you and says you have to pay some money to get something done before they start working with you, maybe they promise some huge amount that they're going to pay you $5,000 a week to do this for them, and they're asking you to pay some amount to get that job or get that project, that is a red flag too. I think those are the two that I can think about really for now. But yeah, those are the most popular ones that I'm seeing around lately. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Godwin. I think our time is up. We
All
really, really
right.
appreciate you once again for coming to share
Thank
this
you.
knowledge with us. Yes, we've learned a lot, and I know that our participants have also learned a lot. Thank you so much once again.
For
And thank you
sure.
everyone who also joined. Thank you for sharing your comments, your hi, your emojis in the comment section. Also made it very, very interactive. Thank you once again. And so this program is brought to you by Mobile Web Ghana in partnership with the US Embassy Ghana, which is American Corner Mobile. And you can just subscribe to this channel so that anytime we have a program, you can just get a notification. And do share it with another friend or somebody you know who needs this information as well, so that we can just help to grow our community. So till we come your